Hello everyone, today I will walk you through our project cryptView. Our first ask is to retrieve NFT metadata from the blockchain and store it into MongoDB. This project involves setting up a web API endpoint that accepts an NFT contract address and token ID. And please ignore these errors and record, which is because it is just Aslian's problem. Now, before diving into the code, let me break down the main components of this project. First, we will set up our Express server and then define an API endpoint that will handle the requests. Second, we will use web3.js to interact with the NFT smart contracts to retrieve metadata like the name, description, and image URL. Finally, we will store the metadata in the MongoDB for easy retrieval in the future references. Now, initially we set up our env file where we mentioned our all the secret keys, MongoDB UI, ports, and other things. Then we configure our .env and load the keys to our main service file. Now, in our JS file, we basically initialize our express in app constant, and we then create a malware to pass our malwares, middlewares. After that, we just create the request to our middlewares by using app.use and then configure all of our routes in our projects. Then we create our connection with our MongoDB using MongoDB URL. Now here we create our metadata model, which will store our contract address, token ID, name, description, images. Now then we connect our NFT metadata like this schema to our MongoDB model. Now, what we are doing in this piece of code is that this code describes the API for our token URI functions. An API is essentially the function which smart contracts enable us to interact with those functions. We pass different inputs to our identity token ID, which is type of our unit int 265, and then an output of name and type of list of string. Now we create a post request to this particular API and extract the contract address and token ID from request body. Here in here we check if our NFT metadata is exist in the MongoDB or not. We are finding our metadata using find one function of MongoDB where we are finding with using the contract address and token ID. Now here our constant contract address, this piece of line. Here we create a new contract instance by passing our NFT and our contract address. And here using our token URI, we are calling and execute the function to read only manner. Basically, it allows us to retrieve the metadata URI for the NFT without modifying the blockchain. Here we are retrieving our metadata the responses from the MongoDB or the JSON metadata. And in this line here, we are passing our JSON response to extract metadata from the NFT. Now NFT metadata. Here we are saving our the NFT data to our MongoDB, like contact address, token ID, name and metadata name, and description of particular images. And then we await for the data to be saved on MongoDB. Now for the second task, basically in this task we are simply taking our last 5 transactions. For this, we are building an API endpoint that accepts an Ethereum address, retrieves the latest transaction from the blockchain, store them in MongoDB, and allows users to carry for transaction based on the data. Here before that we will create a Etherscan API key, and now here we create the describe our MongoDB schema in the format our data will be stored in the MongoDB. Here we have the hash code for the key, and to string and value and timestamp and other blockchains. We create a MongoDB in the transaction is this schema to our MongoDB. Here we are calling making a post request to this particular API and extract the address from the request body. Now what we are doing is to now we get our address, and then we are checking if our address is really existing or not. Now here we set up our Etherscan URL, which will give us the Etherscan address and Etherscan key. Then we are waiting for the response from the Etherscan to get our Etherscan URL. Now if we found our response, we will proceed, and if we not, we give the basically response as 400. In this piece of code, we are mapping our transaction uh, mapping our transaction to particular piece of to our data. What we are doing here is a data. There we insert our transaction to the MongoDB file. Okay. Now we proceed. Here we are querying our transaction by address and data ranges. Here we extract the address, start date, and endpoint as keys from data in the query the user will pass on, and then we try if the query's address and this particular other field are matching in our in our database or not. If we find the query, we particularly sort our transaction data in descending order and retrieve all the last five transactions and show it to the user. Now in our third task, our third task is to implement an API endpoint to retrieve balance of a specific ERC20 token for the given wallet address on the blockchain. This API will interact with a token smart contract using web3.js and is a great way to understand the smart contract interactions. Here we startingly we define our ABI with to interact with the ERC20 contract. Here we defined our just one function's balance of which retrieves the token balance of specified wallet ERC20 token for the standard output, and we all know that. Now there we create a API post request to this particular uh, API and retrieve token address and wallet address from required start body. Now in this we initialize the token contract using the token address and the token ABI. Then give us the which this gives us the accessible function with the with the token contract specially balance of. Here we call the balance of function with the wallet address and retrieve the balance. This function returns the balance in by the smallest unit of ether. Now here we are using web3 from via function. We convert the balance from Wei to Ether. Basically, we are doing the conversion from Wei to Ether here, and then send out our response to for response. Uh, Either we retrieve the token or not. Uh, Thank you.